Welcome back to another episode of the Headless Horseman podcast, where we get a little headless, a little reckless, but we bring it in at the end of the day. I'm one of your co-hosts today, Optimus Coctimus, joined today with...
See more butts.
And we wanted to give you guys a special intro today. So we're going to go ahead and start things off. That's right. You hear it in the headphones, that Florida State, baby. But anyways, first and foremost, we want to start with some gratitude. Thank you for all you listeners out there, audio listeners, Spotify listeners, as well as our visual listeners on YouTube. Thank you guys. Like this last week, I think we got an extra follower on, or extra subscriber on YouTube. So I think our count's up to like 16 or 17 right now.
The body count. No,
the body count's through this roof right now. It's over 9,000. But we just want to say thank you guys. Oh, no, we're at 18 subscribers. Yeah, just
holy hell.
Oh,
hey.
Yeah, wait. I think this calls for another band.
Another.
Yeah. Yes. So I'm talking about you guys on YouTube have definitely been helping us out a lot, and we really appreciate it. So let's get those 2 more so we can hit this 20 subscriber mark and do a celebration with you guys. And also shout out to all you guys on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or any of those audio platforms. I believe we're up to 121 plays right now. So
Let's go, man. 18.
Yeah, so we're at 121 plays currently on Spotify.
We hit 120 plays? Dang.
Yeah, we're at 121 right now. We got 6 Spotify followers. Let's get those Spotify followers up, though.
We gotta get those up.
Yeah, we got to get them up. We're trying to get monetized so we can do this full time for you guys, give you more of this degeneracy.
Yeah, nothing stupid, though. None of that fresh and fit incel stuff, you know.
We just talk about sports, dog, so I don't even know how we
ain't over here dissing on everybody and their mom.
So, yeah, but if you guys, like I said, if you guys like what you're hearing, please just give us a recommendation to somebody else that may enjoy this. We're going to keep putting out more content. You guys seem to love that short form content that we've been putting out. We put out a couple of funny edits from this weekend, so we'll make sure we get those out for you guys on Instagram as well as TikTok. And also on TikTok, you want to give us a synopsis of about TikTok right now? Well, just from this week, we had like four more followers?
I think we got like 4 more followers. Oh, man, I can't think of none off the top of my head. We got more followers, though. I know that for sure.
Yeah, that's what I
don't know how many exact views and how many likes we got again, but there were 2 comments, too.
Yeah, a lot of you guys have been commenting on our page about...
They said, you yap.
Yeah, they didn't like my take about the Bills, dog. They
disrespect.
They didn't like that. I was really coming after the Bills, but I was like, we'll see what happens next year, buddy.
The same exact thing is going to happen next year.
And that's what, guess what I'm going to do, too. Yap.
Yeah, that's right.
Yap my way to the finish line, bozo. So, but yeah, I think, if you want to look, I don't know, do you have talk on right now?
No, I don't. Oh.
Well, wait, you're fine.
We only got 231 views on our last one. Did we get a comment on there?
I think we did. Unless it was me.
Oh, no, it was us that auto-corrected. But the other one where we got 1,521, we got 149 likes, and another one we got 624 views and a couple comments on there, too.
Nice.
But we are at 17 followers and all that.
Yeah, so let's get it up to 20 followers on Spotify or TikTok. I think on Insta we got 20. I think we're stalling at 20. So if you guys are on Instagram, make sure you guys follow our pages on Instagram at the HH Pod. Or no, we're at the Real Headless Horseman now, right? Yeah, that's our thing now. We got 30 followers. So if you guys like this long form stuff and want more of our bite-sized stuff, make sure you check out our Instagram and our TikTok. We have the links in our link tree and everything, so you guys can check those out. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, drop some comments, as well as we're having more interactions on our Spotify plays. For this one coming out, by the time this episode comes out, it's just going to be based around who do you guys think is going to be in the Final Four? We already know all the brackets are busted. It's been crazy. Brackets are already busted, but who do you think is going to be in the Final Four for the men's and the women's? And who do you have it winning overall for the men's and the women? So let us know. Make sure you comment. Just let us know what you guys think. And with that being said, we'll go ahead and get into the episode. Unless you got anything else you want to say to the fans, everybody out there.
We're over here talking you guys' heads off. We need to get into what we got to talk about, man. We got a yapping problem.
So we want to go ahead and clean some things up from last week. We weren't able to. We kind of butchered the way we should have been talking about the free agency. So we're just going to go over our 16 NFC teams. And then we're just going to see what some of the rankings are or how they graded them so far. And so we're going off this PFF what's it called file document about what they think is going on. So start with the Arizona Cardinals. Overall, they gave their free agency grade a C. Oh my gosh. And so they signed a lot of people in their backfield, but I mean they
Yeah,
lost
that's
Hollywood Brown and DeAndre Hopkins for a couple years ago, so it doesn't seem like they're really gonna do anything.
yeah, dude. I mean, after that, what the hell do they even have to ask? What the hell do they even have to offer? Didn't they trade Zach Ertz or something too, dude?
Yeah.
Killing me with this. I gave you 30 years of my career.
Robert.
30 years of my career. Y'all trying to kill me.
Tired, man.
Well, the last good years were when
Carson Palmer was there.
No, after that, who was the coach that won a ring with Tom Brady and
Yeah, that's when Carson Palmer was there.
with
That was
Bruce,
their quarterback. Yeah, that was their quarterback.
who was their head coach? Bruce.
Yeah, Arians. But
Oh,
Carson Palmer was the quarterback.
When they had those deep playoff runs.
Yeah, like that was the quarterback.
Oh, that's funny. Then the Falcons came in with the A-, apparently. I mean, notable signings was Kirk Cousins, 4 years, $180 million.
I need my money pronto. Get it in the morning like Alonzo.
His agent is
Rack City Kirk in this whole
Rack
man.
City, bruh.
Who else
'Cause
did
that-
they get, man? Who else did the Falcons get?
They got Ray McLeod the
The
third.
safety,
Yeah. Or wide receiver.
wide receiver.
Uh,
From the 49ers?
I believe, maybe. I don't
That's
know if
probably who it was.
See.
What were you saying about Kirk? You said he's a finesse lord. His contract.
His agent. It's between him and the agent that is for Nick Saban. The
Do you know who else he's an agent for?
No. So no, I just know whoever Kirk Cousins' agent is, who's getting all these deals. It's like I think he's racked up over like $380-something million right now,
Yeah.
guaranteed that he's gotten out of the 420 that's been offered to him.
Wow.
Cousins' agent, whatever he be telling him in that phone, for what he does, he's great. He's up there rivaling the guy that's also the agent for Nick Saban, the Washington coach that's going to be coaching at Alabama. And then also he's the Sarsky or whatever his face, the Texas coach,
Wait.
Texas head coach Sarsky or whatever his name.
Sarkeesian?
Yeah.
Sarsky. Texas fans
But,
about to put you in a coffin, brother.
Yeah, it's okay.
How
bud.
dare you disrespect us?
Carolina Panthers.
Garbage.
They have a C+ rating. Notable signings. They released Hayden Hurst. Yeah, Hayden Hurst got released. I think he got picked up somewhere else.
I stopped caring about the Panthers after they traded CMC.
Yeah.
That was just stupid. They better get Bryce Young an O-line and all that.
Well, so they released their center Bradley Bozeman.
Who was that? Who even is that? Didn't they have
Um,
some dude named like Alex Okung or something there? That was a
don't-
lineman.
I don't know, but they did sign their two guards in Robert Hunt and Damian Lewis. Robert Hunt is a 5-year, $100 million. Damian Lewis is 4 years, $53 million.
So these
Jesus.
must be some important signings there.
Yeah.
These must be some important pickups. You Panthers
So
fans,
Hunt becomes the fourth guard in the NFL to reach the $20 million per year mark, with the position market exploding.
Oh, that's what I was going to ask.
So yeah, yep. And as you said, Carolina needs to protect quarterback Bryce Young at all costs, and this is a good first step.
I was like, ain't there? How many linemen is that got paid this year?
There's
At
been
least
a lot.
he'd be like, what was he, the fourth?
Or something like that. Well, he's the fourth guard in the NFL to reach the $20 million mark. So, but you also got to remember, the Jets went crazy in all the pickups. They literally just reshifted their whole line.
O-line, yeah, that's it.
Like
in that video we talked about
Yeah.
that we uploaded.
The left tackle Mason, whatever his face from, that's that seasoned veteran from New England.
Mm-hmm.
I think he ended up going to Dallas. Tyron Smith got bounced somewhere else.
Tyron Smith's at the Jets.
Yeah, so there's
Guards tackle the year of the guard and tackle.
I mean, you have to, because it's like Aaron Donald showed how important it is. You have to invest on your O line because
Yeah, bro, and football's going back to football 101, like being able to run the ball.
Well, yeah, we'll see how they do that, considering they don't want to pay running backs. So Jonah Jackson signed for $51 million over 3 years. Now we're on the Bears, and the Chicago Bears have a free agency grade B. Yeah,
That's your squad right there.
They grabbed a lot of people.
They got tired of y'all whooping
So
them.
they grabbed DeAndre Swift, the running back. Where's all those receivers?
Georgia boy.
So and they signed Keenan Allen.
Did you see when Caleb Williams didn't talk to him?
Well, yeah, that was just he didn't have to go over the top that much. I think he should have just shook his hand and acted like he knew what he was doing. But
Right.
offensive lines too, they just signed a center Coleman Shelton 1 year $33 million, and then they signed a tackle Jake Curhan and still has to be determined for the amount of money he's going to make. And then they signed a quarterback Brett Rypien for 1 year, so I guess he's going to probably be the backup. And then defensively, they got the prize. They got my prize, Jonathan Owens.
Jonathan Owens, the
Two
prize.
year, $4.5 million. I still can't even really talk down on it. Tarvarius Moore, God, jeez, Jalen Johnson got re-signed 4 years, $76 million for them.
For the Bears?
Yes,
Jalen, the linebacker?
yes.
How, bro?
No, not the linebacker.
Oh.
The safety. Bears are really trying to focus around probably. I think Caleb Williams is going to go to the Bears, and they're really going to try to build something around him.
I can't believe they traded that man, Justin.
Well, my thing is maybe I got to go back and watch the film again, but people were getting mad about how many times he just runs the ball. But how many games did he have to win games like that to where he felt like he had to run the ball? There wasn't. I think they got rid of their offensive coordinator 1 year, and if you think about it, they had one solid defense for 2 years with Khalil Mack and all those boys. And they just released that safety that played on that team, Eddie Jackson. You had Khalil Mack. You had like another defensive tackle. And I think one more defensive end and a linebacker. They released all those guys like a year or two before they drafted, what's his face? The guy that they just ended up trading off to Pittsburgh. So honestly, Chicago just has to figure out how they want to identify and build around it. But I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, there has to be a point to where it's like it doesn't even matter if you get a first round pick. We just know you're not going to do nothing with it.
What you gonna do with it?
Yeah,
man?
exactly.
Y'all
Like,
gonna hit or miss, man?
like the only last quarterback that was decent for him was old Buddy, before he sputtered out and turned on the league because they turned on him. Jake, God, what was
Jay Cutler?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jay Cutler was slinging the rock for them for a while. So they got a tight end to pair with emerging inline stud Cole Kemet and Everett, having played for New Bears offensive coordinator Shane Waldron with both the Rams and the Seahawks. So they got Gerald Everett, a tight end. So they're going to be he's going to be a reliable dink and dunk for Caleb Williams, right? And hopefully he can get upfield on those blocks because DeAndre Swift, when he hits those sidelines,
Yeah, but
you know what I
he's
mean?
got
You
a
gotta-
crazy juke move.
you got to be able to give him you got to give that guy the ability to play make an open space. So Dallas Cowboys C+. They ain't even write
the fact
nothing
that
for him.
they even get a C plus.
They didn't even write nothing for him. They released Leighton Vander Esch and it kind
Take
of
that article and share it with me.
yeah. I
send it
already
later.
sent it to you, but they had to get rid of Vander Esch, and I feel bad because
The
Vander
toilet
Esch
seat neck, man.
he was good.
Yeah,
he was good. I liked watching him play because he was.
Toilet seat neck
yeah.
was good, bro.
I just hated that he got hurt. They released Michael Gallup, the receiver, which was crazy. Then they re-signed C.J. Goodwin.
they got rid of Pollard, didn't they?
Re-signed Jordan Lewis. Hold on. Pollard? No, I think he's still there with the.
Oh, he got
Let's
released.
see.
on it.
This thing is like 6 days old too.
Oh,
so.
okay.
But they also signed Eric Kendricks and what is LS? Left? That's not left. See,
Long snapper.
yeah, long snapper. Trent Siege, and then the DI Carl Davis Jr. So yeah, they're not going to be anything next year. Whoever that GM is, they need to go.
Jerry Jones.
Yeah, you may have to just go ahead and just be
No,
okay with just
brother.
being an owner and take over.
He passing it down to his son Steven, and Steven gonna run that hole into the ground.
Yeah, I don't even want to go on the tangent of how like these people. Nah, I'm gonna save it for another day. But okay, next we got the Lions. They got a B+ on their free agency. So Detroit appears to have made its decision between two pending free agent guards, electing to retain the veteran Glasgow over the younger Jonah Jackson. Wow, Jonah Jackson was disgusting this year too. Though there is still time, Glasgow can play all three interior positions, and his return to Detroit was a win for all parties. Yeah, they're really going all in for them to go long distance, so kind of makes sense.
And the Lions, they extended Dan Quinn. Why did I say Dan Quinn? Dan Campbell.
That's a no-brainer.
No, I was like, dang, man, it took you Would it take you him showing that he can get you to the freaking NFC Championship for you to extend him? I would have extended him at the beginning of the season.
basically.
Good thing they did though.
So seems like they're reinvesting. That's a good offensive line reinvestment. But Jonah Jackson, I think he went off somewhere, the younger guy. But he's going to get a payday, though, to be honest. Because Glasgow's making 3 years, $20 million, and he can play all those interior positions.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a great investment. I wonder if that's going to be the change for offensive linemen going forward, is being able to add the ability that you can move from like center to guard or guard to tackle or something
That's what
like
they
that.
did with Landon Dickerson
Yeah,
from Alabama, the center.
yeah. Because you're going to start seeing I think you're going to start seeing more left guards go to right guards. But I think that's going to help because if we're going to be honest, one of the biggest areas of injuries for like the last 3 years, 4 years, I would say, has been offensive linemen. So being able to have like those investments to actually be able to move guys and keep the train moving forward, I think that's going to be a proper investment because look what happened to Cincinnati and all those breakdowns, even the Jets, So being able to invest like that going forward, I think that's going to be a staple. And I like that football's returning to actually invest in the guys that actually make a lot of things happen in the trenches. So I mean, we've seen it with defensive linemen. With what's his name? God, J.J. Watt.
Mm-hmm.
He could play interior spots like 0 through 4, interior, inside, head up, outside, and he would like literally do that. The first couple snaps would like literally just march down the line to figure out where he could get a weakness. And guess what? He ends up playing a defensive tackle position for a whole game, but gets like 10 tackles, maybe 2 sacks, and like 10 hurry ups.
Yeah.
And a couple deflections. It's like, yeah, let him go play there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Jadeveon Clowney, we've seen that a little bit, and then even what's his face from last year for the Browns?
Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
I
Sometimes
think he's on a new team though, isn't he? Is he on the Browns still?
Yeah,
He is.
yeah,
Wow.
because he won the Defensive Player of the Year over TJ Watt.
Sheesh.
Yeah, so we'll see how those investments go forward. So next, yes, the Packers, baby. We get a B. I'm not even mad about that, to be honest. I don't want to. There's probably gonna have to be private segments to where we just rant for 30 minutes on our own personal teams. But we signed running back Josh Jacobs. Ridiculous that we released Aaron Jones. I thought that was stupid. Defensively, we re-signed Kason Nixon, which isn't bad. We signed Xavier McKinney to 4 years, $68 million. He must have been hot off the press. We released Devondre Campbell. He was kind of mixed, I guess. Some people didn't like him. I think he played the inside linebacker position. Some people liked him there. Some people didn't. But then by the time this was posted, I can't remember if we got rid of Darnell Savage.
I think you guys don't have Darnell Savage
and
anymore.
that pissed me off because we needed a guy to roam over the top so we could play in the box.
Yeah,
more.
y'all gave Darnell Savage the boot. Now that I think about it, I think y'all did.
Yeah, and that pissed me off because it's like Darnell Savage was great over the top. That's why. And don't get me wrong, like I know we joke about Simone Biles' husband, but he did help us.
Yeah,
He did help us.
Bro.
He played his position. Yeah, he signed a 3-year, $21.75 million contract with the Jags.
Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, I'm pissed, dude.
Get the fuck out.
But we'll see what this. I'm more excited to see what this coordinator does because I think we're switching to a 4-3 under him. So we'll see how he likes to attack. But I just didn't like that we were like literally just waiting for like the ball to be thrown up. We were never aggressive in our attacks with our slants and like all of our defensive like line stunts. Like, and we lost those. Like the last year we went like deep with Aaron Rodgers. That defense was great because I think we were like top 5 in the league for pressure on pass. We didn't allow a lot of rushing yards. We had outside linebackers that got downhill immediately. And we knew on the outsides you were going to have a tough time trying to throw to Jair Alexander because he was literally following your number one all day.
Yeah, that's true.
So, and I was like, dude, the way we would scrap together those defenses made me happy. But yeah. So the Rams, they got a B+. Notable re-signings: Kevin Dotson, their guard, 3-year, $48 million. Demarcus Robinson re-signed for 1 year, $4 million as their wide receiver. They released their center, Brian Allen. Colby Parkinson, 3-year, $22.5. Darius Williams, a corner.
Man, Demarcus Robinson he played for the Chiefs at one point. The wide receiver?
Yeah, I was thinking Allen Robinson for a second. I was like, yeah, that bozo. He really believed he was like, I'm a number one. Like,
Oh man, bro, whatever happened to him? Talk
Fell
about a
off.
hard
After
fall
him
off.
and Buddy both played at Jacksonville, they both fell off hard.
Allen Hurns.
Allen Hurns and Allen Robinson both fell off
Yeah.
hard. The other guy that pissed me off was Kevin White in Chicago Bears. How are you
Yeah.
6'4" running a 4.3, bro? And then they could never get him the ball, and I was just like, this is.
Oh,
And of course,
Kelvin Benjamin too couldn't stay in shape and couldn't stay
Fat.
injured. We gotta talk about wide receivers who are bust. We gotta make a video on that.
but the most notable sign we want to give our hats off to is Aaron Donald. I hate this.
We tip our hat off to
That's,
you, AD.
he was probably first ballot Hall of Famer for sure. It would be great to see him and Jason Kelsey actually at the same Hall of Fame class induction because they both deserve it. For a guy to have a stellar career having to deal with triple teams like that speaks volumes to itself. I mean, whoever his defensive coordinator was must have, did a great job of using him in the way. But even then, Aaron Donald came in every year with the same type of intensity and just did not care. And you see that I love that he was just the idealized version of controlled aggression. When I think of a guy that knew when to use his aggression, had probably the most control to turn it on and turn it off, it was Aaron Donald. He had minimal fights under his belt, but even with his overwhelming intensity, it had to be respected on the field. He never played dirty, and he was a great example overall of even at his days at Pitt. If you ever watched some of that film, it was he was going to be one of those guys for sure. And I think he should go into powerlifting. I don't know if he's going to do that. I really want to see him throw up a 500 to 600 bench just because. So, but hats off to him. And it's just sad thinking about it some days. But so I guess they're still going to have that number one receiver in that Islander guy that's playing with Stafford.
What Islander?
He was the rookie.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he's going to be clean coming in next year. So
Puka Nakua.
Yeah, clean.
Puka Nakua, man.
Him and Cooper Kupp. I just hope Cooper Kupp has some healthy hamstrings this year so he can get after it. But I think they're still going to have a chance to make a deep run in the playoffs. Just defensively, we'll see what they do. Next is the Vikings. They got an A-. An A-, bro.
For what?
Their overall grade ranking. So they released Alexander Madison, the running back. They also got rid of Kirk Cousins, right?
Perk Thuggins.
But they signed quarterback Sam Darnold to 1 year, $10 million. Let's see who else some big names. So they signed an edge guy, Jonathan Grenard, 4 years, $76 million. They also signed a running. Aaron Jones is 1 year, $6 million. Jeez, we couldn't get him $6 million. Are you? It pisses me off. But then you can see they got a couple tight ends with Nick Moose. Johnny Munt signed a 1 year, $2.5 million. So, I think, and then they also signed Brandon Powell as a wide receiver, and then Trent Sheffield, another receiver, at $1.8 million. So, I think they're going to invest in this run game. You're buying 2 tight ends. You re-signed a guard in Blake Brandel, 3 years, to be determined. Re-signed a tackle, David Queensberry, to be determined. So, what that offensively tells me is I think they're going to invest in the run game for sure. Just try to get downhill for sure. So, yeah. And then their defensive coordinator Brian Flores will surely love Grenard's ability against the run in addition to a still developing arsenal of pass rush moves with his super long arms, keeping him clean against tackles as he turns the corner. So, and then also Cashman had a breakout 2023 season with the Texans. Flashy ability as a pass rusher and also looking smooth, dropping and moving laterally in coverage. So, I think that's going to be, I remember he said, let me get up out of there real quick. So they signed a lot of guys so Blake Clashman is going to be a 3-year, $22.5 million, and he's going to be a linebacker for them. Mm-hmm. So Brian Flores is going to probably have a field day. I think this defense, Minnesota's been able to put together some solid defenses with the last 4 or 5 years. I think offensively, them investing in a run game is probably going to be able to limit to what their quarterback has to do to win games. So, I mean, being able to come out with double tight end sets and still run some decent play action is going to be good. Wonder if they're going to take some plays from what we saw from Joe Flacco and those 2 tight end sets that they were running this past year too. So we'll see. New Orleans Saints, they got a agency grade of a B according to this, with a lot of mid-tier and/or specific role linebackers doing well so far through the first day and a half of free agency. This is a good value for Gay. New Orleans gets a solid third linebacker to pair with Demario Davis and Pete Werner. That's going to be good.
Yeah, bro. Willie Gay's good, bro.
Yeah, so a lot of those guys are going to be doing good. Demario Davis, I think he had a ball out.
Demario Davis.
So Tyrann Mathieu got extended to a 2-year, $13 million. So that's good. Willie Gay 1 year to be determined. Nathan Peterman got signed. The quarterback,
What in the world?
Yeah, Stanley Morgan got signed. Wide receiver and Cedric Wilson Jr. got signed.
From the Cowboys. Oh, wait, no, he was at the Dolphins then.
Yeah. And then they signed Xander Horvath, fullback, 2-year, $1.918 million. So, and they released Michael Thomas.
Oh, yeah. I heard about that.
Where's he going to go, you think?
I don't know, bro.
You think he
Michael
fell
Thomas,
off?
He got to figure it out, bro. All he does is complain on social media. He just got character problems.
You think so?
He got to grow up.
Yeah, didn't he get in trouble this past season too?
Yeah, like he got to grow up, man.
Yeah, so yeah, they haven't said any news about where he may be going. So
yeah, bro, like he's got to figure it out, man.
Yeah, so it looks like they're going all in with Jameis Winston. Could this be the resurgence of Jameis?
No. I think Jameis Winston got released too, or traded, moved somewhere.
No, I think he's still with them actually. Unless there's going full in with Derek Carr.
I think I think Jameis signed somewhere else.
Let's see. Yeah, I guess he may be going to the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah,
wow,
that's what I know. He went to another team.
I guess they're going all in with Derek Carr, so we'll see what they end up building around him. But I mean, I just don't think their play calling was good enough, to be honest. But I think getting rid of Michael Thomas was good because you could easily fill that in with a different wide receiver that just want to go out there and run routes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, or fill it with two receivers that you could kind of try to figure out. You know, and like I said, start with the run game and build from there. So we'll see. So the Giants got an overall grading of an A-. They did a lot. They got Drew Lock, a 1-year, $5 million contract. Isaiah McKenzie is to be determined. He's a wide receiver. They signed 2 tight ends and Jack Stoll and Chris Manhertz. Offensively, still they signed a guard in Aaron Stunny. And John Runyon did a 3-year, $30 million deal as a guard. And then they also signed Austin Schlottman. The Schlottman. So, you know what? I know it may sound ballsy, but I'd rather honestly have Drew Lock be my starting quarterback.
Than who?
Than all these other guys that they trying to rotate in and out.
For the Giants?
Yeah. I mean, he won game. He's proven to be a winner in the league.
Yeah, fucking Danny Dimes sucked.
Yeah, him, and then the other guy sucked too.
DeVito?
Yeah.
Don't do the Italian brother like that.
I mean, you right, but I mean, at the same time,
it was some good. It was good while it lasted for New York. Right?
Yeah, and that's the thing. You know, Saquon's out, but it looks like they're investing more into this pass game, but we'll see. You know, and they got some tight ends, so it seems like they're going to try to run the ball. Running back, they signed Devin Singletary, 3 years, $16.5 million. They're investing in a run game. If you can get Drew Lock out there just to sling some in and out routes, maybe let him gunsling it from time to time.
Right.
When you're on the opposite 40-yard line, yeah, you got to make a deep run for sure. Right. I think there were probably just locker room problems with trying to figure out if Saquon Barkley didn't help. And I get it. He did what he thought was best for himself with signing those 1-year option out contracts. But now you're reinvesting in a better run game. You got some guards, some centers that you can deal with. Defensively, the most favorable way to look at this deal is that the Giants effectively used the draft capital they acquired for interior defender Leonard Williams to land a younger player looking for a second contract instead of a third contract. Burns addresses arguably the biggest need on this Giants roster and should have a lot less attention on him all the time now, playing alongside Dexter Lawrence and Kayon Thibodeaux. Runyon is a solid, durable player, and the Giants desperately needed to improve on the interior of their offensive line, as we mentioned earlier. However, while Runyon started every game in 2023, the Packers began rotating in second-year guard Sean Ryan, and eventually the snap counts were about 50-50 between the two. Yeah. So, So speaking about that running back, Singletary was solid in Houston in a fairly sizable role, beating out Damian Pierce for the starting job. So he did well in Houston. So I mean, he's going to make money here, and all those guys that they saw offensive line wise, I think they're going to. Hopefully, they make the same run that they kind of made that first playoff run with the quarterback or with that head coach that they have now. So we'll see who else they add. So Brian Burns, edge rushers. Yeah, that's about it. So we'll see if they can open up that defensive line for themselves. Eagles, they got a B plus. Let's see. Eagles edge defenders House and Reddick and Joshua are the subjects of trade talks as they enter in the final year of their respective contracts. And Philadelphia could trade one or both with an in-house replacement at the ready. Huff is a good pure pass rusher off the edge, as any player in the league. And the Eagles have always deployed that platoon-style approach that should fit in his play style. That's true. Large swaps. The Philadelphia Eagles are not only spend on the top at the top of the market for a running back here, but they also poach a former number 2 overall pick of the New York Giants. Wow. There is probably an element to the running back market today that suggests the teams may finally feel we've hit the inflection point of the market contract for this position. Jalen Hurts and Barkley will be a dynamic duo on the zone read game. Yeah, they may be bringing back that RPO, baby. In the zone read game, and Barkley can be a pass-catching weapon, which Philadelphia could stand to add, as well as an improved pass blocker. So overall, they get a B plus. Offensively, they also signed a guard, Landon Dickerson, extended him 4-year, $84 million.
The Eagles.
Yeah, Saquon Barkley, 3-year, $37.75 million. Guard Matt Hennessy, 1 year to be determined. And then they also acquired Kenny Pickett via a trade.
I don't know about all that.
Yeah,
man.
so
Kenny Pickett, what the heck?
So also notably, Jason Kelce retired. We talked about this before. I think last podcast we talked about him retiring.
Did.
So yeah, hats off to him. Stellar career. But in terms of what they did offensively, seems like I wonder if they're really going to give in to, because there were rumors that Jalen Hurts and the offensive coordinator were not on the same track. This new offensive coordinator, because the other guy bounced before him, because Jalen Hurts was reportedly audibling a lot out of the play calls at the line from what was getting passed down to him. But I hope with Saquon Barkley coming in, I wonder if they're going to give more into the run and actually run either more RPO style inside their offense or be able to run more read options and some zone reads. They don't really run a lot of pistol Nevada sets.
Mm-mm.
So we're going to see probably more of that shotgun read option and see if they move the line laterally with their RPO options with the front side that they're looking at AJ, trying to get him something under a screen.
They need more RPOs. They need to be able to run the ball and develop better passing concept downfield.
Mm-hmm. You're spitting.
They're over there on 3rd and 10 trying to throw quick slants.
Yeah.
Ridiculous, man.
And then they re-signed their tight end Albert Okwuegbunam to a 1-year deal. And that's all they got offensively. And then Devontae Parker signed a 1-year $4.69 million. So, we'll see what they develop offensively with their concepts. I think, number one, offensive coordinator and the quarterback, if it's true about those rumors, they need to hash it out. Because if stuff's stalling at the pipeline and you try to play free ball like that, I don't think you can afford to do that in this league. No. You got to, we got to be on one accord and audible as necessary.
Especially the way they started out the season.
Exactly. So
that shit was pathetic how they fell apart.
Mm-hmm. So, and then defensively, they released Avonte Maddox.
Is he? Did he play DB?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They released Kevin Byard, the safety, but they re-signed edge Brandon Graham, so they're still going to get some veteranship on the defensive line.
What if they get Justin Simmons and that other dude, that other tall man?
Oh, for safety wise, C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
Poyer.
Oh, Poyer.
Jordan Poyer.
I didn't see this.
Dude, that would be so dangerous.
They got Devin White on a 1 Oh my god.
Yeah, bro, they got Devin White.
God, another Super Bowl winner. So Devin White, that's the linebacker. They got a safety and C.J. Gardner-Johnson, 3-year max, $33 million. They also, so that's who. Bless you. So defensively, I think they're just going to reinvest in their defensive style that they play with. So I don't think there's going to be anything new. They like to swap heavy, so it's just finding good players and role players at every one of those positions.
Yeah.
And as you're seeing more of these veteran players retire off, like Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham may be next in a couple years too. They got to make a push. But offensively, I think that's where the pressure is going to be. I think more lights is going to be on them.
Yeah, they got to figure that shit out.
So San Fran, they got a C+. Yeah, we're not surprised. I think they just picked up the head coach that was the head coach from the Chargers is going to be their defensive coordinator, assistant coach or something like that. So they re-signed Kevin Givens, re-signed their guard John Felicano, re-signed linebacker Demetrius Flanning Foles. They signed quarterback Chase Lucas, re-signed George Odom, signed edge rusher Leonard Floyd to 2 year $20 million. That's big. They also signed Yetis Gross Matos to 2 year $18 million, who's also a guard. They released Isaiah Oliver, their corner. They re-signed Brandon Allen, their quarterback, and re-signed tackle Colton McFitz, 1 year $7 million. So they seem like they're reinvesting in defensively. Honestly, they didn't really need to make as many moves on the market. Number one, you got rid of your defensive coach who really kept you guys in the games. This is the only reason they had a chance in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, the 49ers are cool.
And then, yeah, I don't really have a lot to say about that. I think they're just going to have – it's not really about who they pick up as much as what they're willing to put down with this head coach. The head coach will be the reason that a lot of these talented teams won't get over this hump, because Christian McCaffrey's don't run the ball with him in the third quarter and then expect a bailout in the fourth is ridiculous. You know, you got to keep the hot hand with that. But we'll move on. Seattle Seahawks, B-. Yeah, they released Will Dissly, Quandre Diggs, Jamal Adams, Brian Moore, and fullback Nick Bellor. They re-signed Noah Fant. They re-signed Leonard Williams to a 3 year $64.5 million. Jesus. Nick Harris, their center, got re-signed, $2.5 million. Damn. Art Burns, the corner. Rayshon Jackson, the safety. George Fant, the tackle. Re-signed edge Darren Taylor. And then they also acquired Sam Howell in a trade.
Howell, quarterback?
Yep. And then they also signed Tyrell Dodson. So Pete Carroll is probably the biggest offseason move that they did make, moving him out of as head coach.
Crazy not seeing Pete in Seattle.
We'll see what they end up building offensively around who's their quarterback right now?
Geno Smith.
Yeah, Geno Smith. And see what they can get done. And then all those defensive, I wonder how they're going to fill in those gaps defensively unless they feel like they have more. Fant should take on even a larger role in Seattle's offense with the team moving on from both Will Dissly and Kobe Parkinson this offseason, and his abilities after the catch were on display in 2023 when he was called upon. Improved pass protection for Geno Smith should hopefully enable him to work through his progressions and find Fant more frequently going forward. That's going to be strong for them. Leonard Williams, for the $63 million deal he signed with the New York Giants, so arguably the best Seahawks defender over the second half of the season, so this wasn't just about that. I think it was earned, so that's what they say. I agree with that. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Let's see. Baker Mayfield got re-signed at a 3 year $100 million deal. Lavonte Davis got re-signed on a 1 year. Jordan Whitehead, the safety, 2 year $9 million. Bryce Hall, the corner. Ben Bredson, the guard, got re-signed. The guards Sue Opeta got re-signed. And then they signed a quarterback in John Walford. Interesting. Mike Evans re-signed to a 2 year $41 million, so I guess he made up his mind. And then they released Shaquille Barrett, the edge rusher. That's rip. So, honestly, Evans just keeps on rolling along and emphatically proved his worth and something of a proof it year after the two sides were unable to agree on an early extension. The win from his perspective is that this could amount to a 1 year $29 million contract. The win from Tampa Bay side is keeping the total value in check. This is a nice reunion for the Bucs. Whitehead, whom they drafted in 2018, has played more than 900 snaps in the past 5 seasons, has a ton of versatility in his final 2 seasons. In Tampa before going to the Jets. He played free safety and strong safety about the same rate, whereas in New York, he was primarily used as a free safety. Having him along and with Antoine Winfield on the back end should give Todd Bowles 2 versatile safeties who can play all over the field and cause confusion for opposing offenses. I wish we would have did this. We would have re-signed freaking Darnell Savage. This is what we needed, and then we don't want to invest in something like this as a Packers fan. Pissing me off. But
you guys still got what, a B+, A+?
They got an A- for that.
That ain't bad.
That's great. But it's just gonna probably come down to, I think now that they have more they still have a lot of people on that team that have a lot of postseason veteranship. So I think early on, with this year after Baker Mayfield proved, I think they're going to have a lot of confidence from the quarterback position rolling forward.
Right.
So that's going to be good. And everybody, like, they signed, they got a lot of guys coming back. They didn't seem like they had to do too much with the wide receivers. So that's solid. You know, Mike Evans was probably going to be their biggest thing. Chase Edmonds, running back. So it seems like if he's getting re-signed, he seems to be making plays for them. So the last one we're going to sum it up with, Washington Commanders. Signed tight end Zach Ertz, interior defensive lineman Dorrance Armstrong, signed center Tyler Bidats, 3-year, $29.25 million. Dorrance Armstrong, as I mentioned earlier, signed 3 years, $33 million. Linebacker Frank Louvu, 3-year, $31 million. Running back Austin Eckler, 2-year, $11.4 million. They signed a kicker, Brandon McManus, 1 year, $3.6. Guard Nick Allegardi, 3 year, $16 million. Klein Farrell, their edge rusher, they signed 1 year, $3.75 million. They got Marcus Mariota on a 1 year, $6 million deal. Long snapper, Jeremy Chin, 1 year, $5.1 million. Jeremy Reeves, 2 year. Bobby Wagner, 1 year, and then edge rusher Anthony Pittman, and then another edge rusher. They re-signed Obada. Jesus, I'm butchering that. So Dan Quinn is the new Commanders head coach, and you can see, honestly, he's investing a lot in defensively. That's no surprise coming from Dan Quinn. In the way he likes to do things. They're also building around Marcus Mariota, but I don't know if he's going to have that type of confidence after what was happening for the Atlanta. All them grades he has now, good Lord. But they gave him a A rating overall, so we'll definitely see going forward. Do you have any comments about them?
Fuck them.
Eckler that they just signed brings the pass-catching element to Washington, which lost Antonio Gibson, a free agent, to the New England Patriots. Eckler's pairing with Brian Robinson is a perfect complement of skills in the backfield. So Washington could stand to make another move at edge rusher with Armstrong, more rotational piece than a top guy, but linebacker Frankie Louvu also adds another pass rush element. So it seems defensively, Dan Quinn's going to do what he does. Hopefully he doesn't choke as bad as he did with the Falcons and the Cowboys. I can't believe he got a head coaching job, but then again, it's Washington. So I guess we'll see what happens going forward with that. Do you have any other things you want to say about them or no?
I say fuck the Commanders because they sat there and did Eric Bieniemy dirty, and now look, they got a clean up slate. And I hope you guys don't ever become successful ever again.
Jesus Christ, man! Come on, man. Come on.
Just disrespected EB, bro.
Yeah,
That's
Eric
ridiculous.
Bieniemy. I can't believe he had to go down all the way down to the collegiate level. But then again, guys just don't want to play with that intensity. From what he was saying on his side, he was like, "I'm supposed to bring out this intensity.
Right.
I'm supposed to be downhill for you guys." I mean, look what he did for those running backs for the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
Safety nets, safety. And then you want to turn around and just give him the fucking boot. So with that being said, we kind of just summed up the NFC offseason grades. We saw a lot of what we've been seeing a lot before. A lot of investments on the offensive line, which I think is necessary. And I like seeing those guys get paid. And so we'll see next year going forward with all these investments with the offensive line. Will this actually deal with a lot of the pass rushing elements and evolution that we're seeing? Well, a lot of those guys are getting downhill. Mm-hmm. So did you have any other comments you wanted to make?
No, man.
Okay.
Nice.
I think that concludes everything we wanted to talk about. And like I said, we're going to work on getting more short form content out to you guys this week. Probably try to get at least 4 shorts out this week. I think we did 3 last week. So we'll try to get 4 shorts out to you guys this week. And going forward, we want to just say thank you guys. It really means a lot for the support that you guys keep giving us. So
yeah,
let's definitely, get that 20 subscriber special for YouTube. Then also on Instagram, let's get up to 30. Let's get up to 30 followers on YouTube or on Instagram. 30 is a good number. I think on TikTok we want to get up to how many followers we got on TikTok?
20? 17.
Yeah, so let's get up to 20. Let's bust through that 20 mark. Spotify, let's get up to 10 followers. Like I said, recommendation from guys like you, people like you that help us grow more. So we really appreciate it. I'd be shocked sometimes thinking about our numbers. I'd be like, dang, they really messing with us. The hood love us.
Let's get that heartburn.
Oh, dude, yeah, you getting jacked up over there. You getting old, dog. So So with that being said, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. Thank you again for tuning in on our podcast episode. We're going to drop an interaction on Spotify. Let us know who you think is going to be in the Final Fours for the men's and for the Final Fours for the women's NCAA March Madness. With that being said, thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of the Headless Horseman podcast, where we get a little headless, a little reckless, but here we are bringing it in at the end of the day. I'm one of your co-hosts, Optimus Coctimus, joined today with...
See more heartburn butts tonight, dog. Shit.
and thank you for joining us at the Horse Quarters. We hope you guys have a good one. Headless Horseman, let's ride.